What's cracking, everybody? Good morning. This is another episode of Random Incoherent Ramblings with your host. My current moniker is Pastor Effin' Slade. And this is actually a pretty serious dialogue journal. Yeah, man, really, you should stay tuned. I had an epiphany right now, and I basically realized a positive thing of my life that I'd like to share with some people, not for my benefit, but maybe yours. So, because I have no family that will comprehend or give a fucking shit about this. So, I'm at this park because we got the COVID-19 going down and I can't go to a gym, right? So, these two loked out fools, man, dogging like fuck. And I just kind of like what, you know? And, motherfucker eventually did that bullshit back, scowling me and shit, then took the fuck off. It's so fucking annoying. It's, some, goddamn fucking contentious, ignorant ass fucking people in this world. And this video's toward, introverts and fucking, I don't know what you want to call it, shy people, supposed betas, whatever the fuck people give you a moniker about. And, I just thought I'd like to help you out, man. I don't know if this video is gonna do jack shit or go anywhere because I'm not famous and all that shit. But I can relate to you, man. When I was young, I was what they called artsy-fartsy kid. I was more artistically inclined. And I know how it is, you guys out there, to like be put off by jocks. You don't want to fucking, all the loud, bombastic, hooligan-ass fucking, fucking jackals and hyenas and shit. And why the fuck would you want to get on a football team and hit people you're not mad at? Why would you want to get on a wrestling team and fucking get all intimately close and sweaty with some other guy in spandex? And everybody is like too loud, too annoying, too fucking ignorant, and you kind of just keep to yourself, you know, and they fucking put you the fuck off. You're just intelligent, man. Welcome to the club. I used to be, man. I fucking gave it up. And I just like to help you guys out. So any fucking way to toot my own horn when I fucking like what to these guys, you know? That was a milestone in my life. It's so pathetic that, you know, I started growing up in San Bernardino when I was a little kid. And things are really fucking volatile and shit, man. I used to get really caught up, you know? And, I used to be so goddamn scared for my fucking life, you know? And, now, pathetically, it took me till like I'm 40 fucking years old to be like, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, one, I'm not scared of these guys. Two, even if they could kick my ass, I ain't scared and I'm just fucking fed up, you know? And I wanted to show you guys the advantages and disadvantages of you guys being Zoomers more than likely or Zillennials, and I'm fucking damn near Generation X and shit. And what the fuck that means is like my childhood was in the 80s and your childhood was somewhere in the 2000s, right? So fucking you know, back in the 1990s, if you're walking around with tight, skinny jeans and a fucking iPhone, of course that, you know, iPhones didn't exist, you were gonna get your ass kicked. It didn't matter how cool or tough you are or whatever. I don't mean that as dissing you or pejorative. This is a simple fucking thing you're going. That thing's getting stolen. You're getting beat up for wearing tight fucking pants that went out of style in the 80s. This is now the 90s. And there's no cell phone to call for help or to incriminate your assailants with a fucking video. And when the EMTs or the fucking paramedics come, especially if you're just a kid from the hood or something like that, they don't give a fuck, man. I've seen this guy, you can't stab a skull very easily, but someone tried. And when the EMTs and the police are dealing with his ass, this was in Santa Ana, by the way. They were talking about their scuba diving fucking vacation. They didn't give a fuck about this guy's life. He's a lowlife to them. They're better than us, you know? They have a real job. They're important. And hold on, here's that loked out dude. Oh, he could do push-ups pretty damn good, you know? So any fucking way, that was probably loud as fuck. They probably heard it. So, Yeah. And I like to tell you, like, so back then, shit was volatile as fuck. And nowadays, and back in those days, man, me and my homies, we got fucking seriously fucking hurt. Because we were trying to find our manhood and be tough and whatnot. And we didn't know what we were doing. Even the coaches in high school back then, they didn't know how to really teach you how to deadlift or squat or bench press, man. And now you guys have YouTube and stuff like that. You have a plethora of information. And with mixed martial arts, MMA, you know, it's fucking light years ahead of how we thought we're fighting back in the day. And you can learn that shit. And there's pros and cons of that shit. I could go on and on about it. Like we had, I ain't bragging. So I became so fucking big for my age that I had to start fucking living up to the rep, right? So I ain't even trying to say like I'm all better than you or cooler than you and shit. I just had to fucking put up with it and fucking eventually do something about it. And where the fuck was I going with this? And like, you know, imagine you're gonna go swimming and it's cold as fuck and you kind of like dip your toe in first, you gradually go in instead of just jumping in and fucking drowning and shit, learning to swim, you know. I was lucky enough to after the very initial sink or swim endeavors, which was totally accidental and we were working way too hard, I got gradually introduced to this shit until it became just like, you know, imagine you're lifting a weight and stuff like that, and then you just add like 5 or 2 pounds at a time. That's kind of how I learned my shit. But I honestly, guys, fucking, I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. And I don't really like to teach shit for free, but if any of you guys, if you're cool and you're humble, I'd like to share my information with you, man. I'm not trying to be your sensei or fucking Yoda and shit. It's not even like that. It's that, the very little family I had, they were so adamantly fucking against us trying to be men the only fucking way we knew how. And then this thing that happened today, which is like a milestone for me, right? They ain't gonna relate to that. They ain't gonna give a fuck, man. And it pisses me off. And I could bitch and whine all day, but like, you know, I had one parent die and the other one remarried. And then I became kicked out of the house and homeless at 13 years old, and I was never able to go to college and shit. So anyway, what the fuck I'm getting, why I'm crying you that river is to give you an example of like I'm never gonna have kids and shit, and I'm not gonna have an heir. So any of you cool ass Zoomers and shit like that, man, you want to fucking holla at old Uncle Slade about some fucking some crazy shit, some woke shit regarding fucking